Hi, everyone. I've always loved to invent things. From an early age, I love to discover problems, because problems often contain the opportunity to invent something and the opportunity to think about things differently. Unfortunately, doing things differently as a habit doesn't make you easy to employ. So in early 2011, I found myself working as a freelancer and having to complete a rather difficult tax return because of it. And I was appalled at how difficult the process was. Surely something that every working person has to do every year should be made as simple as possible. It would seem not so. So after hours of pulling my hair out, I eventually conceded and did what everyone else does. I went to go see a tax guy. That tax guy was my friend Mark, who's now the TaxTim co-founder and CFO. So Mark explained the process to me and made it seem really easy and simple. That evening, I did my return completely on my own. So eventually I said to Mark, would it be possible for me to take everything you know about tax and put it into a machine, essentially make a digital version of you so that everyone can have their own tax man? Not being a programmer, he said, maybe, and that was that. A few weeks later, a friend of mine told me that Google was setting up a technology incubator in Cape Town and was looking for great ideas. So on a whim, Mark and I entered our idea for a digital tax man. One thing led to another, and we ended up being selected as one of the first 3 teams into the incubator. We were rewarded with 6 months of funding, office space with fast internet, not the normal South African slow standard, along with some seed funding. Finally, this meant I could stop my aimless freelancing career and focus on solving the mother of all headaches, tax. That October, Mark and I moved into the Umbono space and got started. Our goal was to build something that regular people could use, regular folks on the street, and maybe even enjoy using. So we removed that minefield of little blocks that you normally see on your tax return, and instead replaced it with a simple conversation with a friendly face. TaxTim asks you simple questions one by one, and then instantly fills out your tax return for you. All you have to do is answer a couple of questions, and everything is filled in the right place automatically, just like a normal tax practitioner would do, but at a fraction of the price. We stripped away all that tax jargon that confuses people and replaced it with plain language and utter simplicity. We chose this as our interface because having a conversation comes naturally to most people. And as a result, people as old as 90 years old have used our system with ease and even complimented us. So not only do you have a professional by your side step by step throughout the process, but you've maximized your chance of getting a tax refund and minimized the chance of SARS coming knocking because of some horrible tiny mistake you made in your tax return. But the best part for me is that this whole process takes place automatically. So we can scale easily from helping 100 people a day to 1 million people. And in the back end, it's just a computer doing all the work. So we turned on our prototype 2 days before tax season ended in 2011, and 116 people signed up in 48 hours. We were so excited to have built something that really seemed to help people. Then in an instant, our fortune took a turn. We sat down one day with our main mentor and investor, and he told us that he was withdrawing his support and his funding because of a disagreement that we'd had. We were shocked by the news, and suddenly without funding, our future seemed uncertain. But after a few tears and some brutal honesty, Mark and I decided to continue with TaxTim because we really believed in what we were building. A few weeks later, we met with fellow entrepreneur Justin Stanford, who spoke earlier. We told him what we were doing, and he graciously offered us funding. Suddenly, our dream was back on track, and we could make a go of our very first tax season. Tax is exciting to me. So we had a lot to do. Knowing that individuals were a low-volume market, we created Employee Assist, a way for responsible corporates to help their employees do their tax returns. We also invented an educational product for tax students that's now used in 7 of the country's top universities. We hired a PR team who's got us amazing press in FinWeek, Financial Mail, even on television, ETV, Al Jazeera, things like that. We translated TaxTim into English, Afrikaans, Xhosa, and Zulu, so now 63% of the country can do tax in their home language, and made them available on the mobile web too. This year, our tax blog has taken over the internet space and made our search engine ranking equal to that of the SARS website. Search anything tax will probably come up. Now almost 3,000 people visit TaxTim every day. That may not seem like a huge number, but for people interested in taxes, that's quite a number. Our company is on the verge of becoming profitable. And after 20 months of pushing, South Africa's biggest brands are finally starting to approach us to discuss partnerships. But none of these adventures would have taken place if I was on my own. I know this for a fact because the 3 businesses I started prior to TaxTim, despite my best efforts, all did the same thing. They went nowhere. If it hadn't been for big brands like Google and forward-thinking guys like Justin getting involved, not only providing cash, but mentorship and encouragement too, I would probably still be a freelancer and taxes would probably still suck. So I urge you today to please support entrepreneurs, whether they're online or offline, with big ideas or small ones, because small ideas can change an economy, and sometimes they can change the world. Thank you. Thanks, Peter.